know, if I'm not satisfied, then I'll satisfy myself
Hey, man, that's all we say.
After I'm done having sex in front of the person. Like, if you didn't satisfy me, I'm gonna satisfy myself.
Oh, that's when you do it, but you don't just do it like
in front of him. Let me show you what to do, because you don't know what you're doing.
Listen to Black Men starts now. So Tyler, we back.
Yes, sir.
We in your crib, but we back.
Yes, sir.
I had to come and crash y'all set, because y'all crashed mine.
Right.
It's only right.
Y'all needed us. Y'all needed us.
I don't know about all that
You
now.
did. Scrappy is in the building.
Hey.
We appreciate you pulling up. I see the cup is empty. We gonna fix that.
You know, you gotta take a drink out of crime.
Yeah, you take a drink out of crime. I'm gonna tell y'all, not y'all don't have to worry about it. Be y'all boss. So just, you know, if we want to keep doing this, don't ruin this.
So don't
all right?
tell him what you said about him.
Please don't tell him nothing I said about him. Let's jump into it, man. You know, when we get around each other, I don't really know everybody's talents. Like, anybody can speak a second language here?
I can understand a second. Oh, we got one.
I just speak slang.
What language can you speak?
There you go.
I have a feeling that you're very fluent in it as well.
Very.
What about you, L'Oreal?
Nah.
So y'all
English.
don't, that's it?
Yes.
So
What
y'all
about
don't-
you?
I speak like 5 other languages.
You do?
Like
Love
fine.
languages.
It's the sweater.
Yo,
It's the sweater.
yo.
Aren't you single? Aren't you single?
I just said I speak it well.
Oh, yeah.
So hold on. That has
What's wrong
something
with
to
being single?
You're
Yeah,
not,
what's
so
wrong?
what
I'm
do you-
single. So what wrong with being single?
We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to that. If the man say he's single, he's single.
I'm not really hip on the love languages, so you can't be single and have a love language?
I guess what she's saying is that you don't know your love languages if you single. That could be true.
But I don't always had a chick. So does that mean I know love languages?
It might mean they talking and you not listening.
No.
Put it like this. You ever be around Latinx people, Spanish people, and you know they speaking their language and you automatically put an accent on yours? You're not speaking their language,
Who
but
does
you think
that? You do that?
we all do it.
No, we all do not.
You ain't never been at the deli and like, Papa,
No.
Papa.
If you want a resort, though.
Look, especially
That's kind
us.
of funny.
No, we get around, we get women, we be like, "Ven aquí, mami.
See? See?
Come talk to me, mami. Come
And
talk
that's
to
Like, I'm
Poppy.
not Spanish.
And technically that's
Come
what
talk
we
to Poppy."
And technically, that's what we doing when we try and speak our love languages to people that don't understand. So, do y'all know any of the love languages? Any of the 5? So there's 5.
Yeah.
No,
I
go
know.
ahead, married man.
You
Break
know,
them down.
you know I know.
Break 'em
All
down, married man.
You know, there's
married?
yes sir, yes sir.
You too, right?
L'Oreal.
Wait.
L'Oreal. L'Oreal. L'Oreal.
Why you wait?
L'Oreal.
Why she want me to be married?
L'Oreal, this is a safe
I
space.
saw that somewhere. This
Well,
is safe.
unsee-
Can we talk about it?
Later.
I want to hear the love languages because I don't know.
He right here. He just.
Come on, Mary.
Okay,
I don't know.
Look, there's 5 love languages.
Yes,
right?
come on, break 'em down.
There's words of affirmation.
Bang.
Yeah.
There's acts of service.
Bang.
There is receiving gifts.
Bang.
Physical touch.
Bang.
And quality time.
Come on,
Man,
man.
he know this off the top of his head.
You know why? That boy married.
I'm just saying.
Hold on,
I'll be here all
time,
week.
because-
I'm just saying.
Hold on, because I done did all this shit and didn't get nothing back. Let me make sure you
Man,
said.
you don't did it. I'm telling you, it's
Sir,
just
you
all
said
about.
service,
Yo, you got words of affirmation.
words of affirmation.
Acts of service. You got receiving gifts.
Hold on, you going too fast. Hold on, so, okay, hold on.
I think they got
You
this
said
on
service,
Google.
you said service.
Yeah,
You
service.
said service.
Receiving gifts.
What else?
Physical touch.
Physical touch.
Yeah.
Physical touch.
Okay.
And quality time.
Quality.
Which one is yours, Scrappy, out of these? Which one is yours?
Okay.
So listen,
Okay.
this is the crazy part about my life.
Yes, sir.
Now, I know y'all gonna say I'm bullshitting, but in every relationship I ever been in, I did all these.
But what are the ones that speak to you?
Like, what
Like when you
touch
see
that
those
y'all-
5.
It got to be a word that all of it go to though, cause I need all that.
That's how I feel too.
I need all that.
But like the 2 that go
words of affirmation
bang.
and physical touch.
Because that's mine. Those are my 2. Physical touch, words of affirmation.
So what's wrong with women now that don't want to give us that? They feel like they don't supposed to give us that.
You never got that before?
No, I done got it from like old relationships, but I'm talking about like the later women. They be like, oh, I mean, shit, didn't your mama tell you that? You know what I mean?
But why would you take somebody serious if they don't give you those things that you need?
No. They start off with that though. They start off with that. See, it's different. Like you gotta tread water with this shit now. You know what I'm saying? You gotta tread water because they start off, they do everything.
Y'all
right.
do too, though, right? Y'all like the perfect person in the beginning.
I listen to black men.
Listen.
Not on listen to black men. Let the man stay on topic. We talking about women.
See?
Now you know.
And you want to come what I say. When I say female irritation.
I
said that.
I questioned you.
I see black man talking.
The black man. See?
Right.
You,
No, I can't talk.
First of all, this man said 5 love languages.
Yeah, right.
I just said I need all of them. You feel what I'm saying? You said you need all of them.
Yeah, I
the
did.
main 2, you say all, basically.
We all typically exist using all 5 of them.
Yeah.
But there's for every person, there's typically 2 that kind of
stand out
more than the other 3.
Yeah. What about yours?
Mine's is definitely quality time.
Yeah.
And receiving gifts.
Me too. See, that's why my twin.
That's crazy. Because I
Funny
don't
how
have to
that
get that. I like that, but I don't have to get. They ain't like, you know what I mean?
So
Like,
gifts don't mean anything.
I like to give them.
I think most men are probably taking quality time and words of affirmation. Well, those other 3 we can almost provide ourselves. Like we give ourselves gifts.
Yeah.
What's the other?
Words of affirmation,
Shit.
quality touch.
That's what I'm saying. Those 2 are the biggest ones for us.
Well, no, I'm saying we give ourselves physical touch enough the way we. I mean, sometimes we don't need we don't need them other 4 languages. But physical touch done got me right.
Are y'all really physically touching yourselves?
Like, don't you start. Oh, as a woman, do not start. Y'all physically touch yourselves. Y'all go to the store and buy stuff.
Juvenile said it the best.
What he said?
If I'm in the room with a chick and she don't wanna, like a man, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get mine for a show.
That's
However, you
crazy.
got to get it.
Women are physically touch themselves, I think, probably more than men, because y'all physically can do it more.
You know, if I'm not satisfied, then I'll satisfy myself after I'm done.
That's all we say.
But after I'm done having sex in front of the person.
So you saying just like on a casual Tuesday, you not just
Like if you didn't satisfy me, I'm gonna satisfy
that's when
myself.
you do it, but you don't just do it like
in front of him.
Wait, my question.
Let me show you what to do, because you don't know what you're doing.
I'm sleeping anyway. So what do you think?
No. My question is to Jeremy.
Hey,
No, I didn't like the way Jeremy.
What happens to me?
Jeremy, I didn't like the way you set that up. So just on a random Tuesday, you just like,
I'm just saying,
I
like,
got
you
about
said
30
after the
minutes.
sexual act. I'm just saying, like, speaking on behalf of women, like, do you just say, hey, I'm feeling some type of way?
Yeah,
and
no, like-
you just go out, but you said after you was already with the man and y'all
Because I'm not that type. Like I don't like toys. I don't like doing.
Well, you're an
things
outlier. The rose toy industry is booming right now. It's like
you don't like the rose toy, but a billion other ladies.
Yeah, you're an
They're
outlier
buying
for
them in
sure.
bulk.
So do you have the Guac Guac 3000?
Is that a toy?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
the Guac Guac 3000.
No, send me the Amazon.
Right.
Guac Guac.
I don't know what that is.
Hold on.
I apologize
I
for
don't
getting.
know. I seen it on the Instagram timeline.
This is
So
above us.
you use toys then? Y'all use toys?
No, that's what I'm saying. I
But
think
if I
women,
do
Hey, he said, but the Guac Guac.
women use toys more than the toys are for the women. I don't think.
You think so?
The Guac Guac 3000. I'd have seen it on TikTok before. It's
Yeah, the
hilarious.
Guac Guac look like
What
if I had
Real
a,
mouth
if I had a
thing,
thing,
like
I
turns,
would.
just like a washing machine. On your
All right,
head.
let's moonwalk this back to
Yeah,
the start.
it's my fault we even got on the
We are in
subject.
a
I
dark
apologize.
place.
I apologize.
We are in a dark
This must
place.
be the spirits of some OnlyFans models.
My Lord, this is now only listen to black men. Come on.
That's what men do when they hear love language, though.
Yeah, we just
go straight to
There was a fucker saying now he was saying
5
it was
love
yeah.
languages.
I've never really talked about love languages, never communicated.
Yeah.
Probably, you like to say you haven't either. A lot of men probably don't. But I feel like I don't think about my love language until you miss them and you don't have them. So like the words of affirmation, you know what I mean? I think that's a big one for me. I used to have a woman that told me, saying, you're gonna do great, they're gonna love you. Before I went on stage, every time, like she would text me, they're gonna love you. And I would miss stuff like that after it was gone, you know what I mean? So I think that, and then obviously physical touch is another.
Somebody told you that?
Every single show. Yeah.
And you didn't know
I ain't know what.
that she was telling you that?
I didn't realize that's what that words of affirmation. I didn't
Like,
realize
you
how
know
much
that
I needed that until I missed it.
He didn't know that was speaking to him until it no longer spoke.
You
to him.
didn't value it.
I did not. I valued it more afterwards. You know, it's like you got a nice car and you're like, oh, okay, I got a car, I'm balling, I'm doing my thing, and then somebody steal it and you're like, oh my God,
Or you gotta pay the note. Or when you gotta pay the note, you like this stupid car.
He just woke me up on something.
Okay.
You said you didn't know it until like, and see, I didn't know I needed it until I was never getting it.
That's crazy.
So typically, I'm more in line with Tyler where I might have this thing, but I'm not really gonna miss it until it's gone.
Right.
Got it.
But we know it because we had it.
Yeah.
So what woke you up to knowing what you were missing, even though you didn't get it?
Seeing other people get it. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. And seeing the person give it to other people.
Seeing that
You know
same
what I'm
person
saying? Give it to other people. And you like, well.
I think all of us have been
You know
there
what
before.
I'm saying?
See a romantic partner do for others what it almost seems.
No, and it's not just one person. Like, it ain't just one person. I done had it a couple times because, you know, when you a giver, cuz it kind of, sometimes it end up like that. You kind of go overboard with the love language shit. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know the actual love language. You feel what I'm saying? Because I've also been in something to where somebody's telling me they love language, or I know it, but I'm still doing how I want to do it.
Yeah,
Like,
we
you know
do
what
that
I'm saying?
often.
So that's the thing about love
We do
language.
that.
Go ahead, girl, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say we do that often because it's what we think people want.
Yeah.
So say you're
Motherfuckers
giving,
be sitting
giving.
like,
Yeah.
But I like this.
Yeah.
saying-
But it's hard
Yeah.
if you're used to functioning
Yeah.
that way. Like me, I like to give gifts and I like to receive them too. So it might be somebody like you who doesn't really care about gifts. And I'm like, yo, I'm doing all this to get you the gift. And I'm thinking I'm doing the most, but you just wanted me to touch you. And that was free.
Because you may do something that you like for yourself.
Yeah.
So you be like, of course, this other person would like this too. Because
But then you call them
You
ungrateful.
go and spend time with that person and get to know them.
Yeah.
You're like, wait.
You call
they
them
don't
ungrateful
even
though.
like that.
And that's,
So that's
they're not
not
though.
really
They're not ungrateful.
Right. If you don't like something, you should be able to say, this not what I like.
Yeah.
The communication
Without the
part of
person
it,
being
right?
like-
because they're called love languages.
Yeah.
So you got to learn how to communicate, right? Like 6 of us, we got to know. All right, when Tyler done talking, I'll come back, but I don't want it to seem like I'm just making my point based off Tyler's point. I want him to feel like I'm listening to him. That's the best way to have a conversation. Love language is the same way, right? The way I look at it is love language is all puzzle pieces, right? So if the person you with, they got the female part of the puzzle, you got the male part, right? Bow, bow. But if y'all both trying to put these two male parts together, because you're not listening, your love language can sometimes close you off to what somebody else is saying.
Yeah, that's true.
So like you just say, like, I'm giving you this, and they like, I just want quality time.
Yeah. Right.
Now that problem, now it doubles because now you're like, now I'm not being edified and I feel like you're ungrateful.
Yeah.
So now we have double the problem just because we didn't sit down at the beginning and be like, yo, what's your love language? It's such a simple question to ask.
People don't know it.
Right.
So how can they even tell you? Because throughout the relationship, sometimes things change.
Yeah.
Like you think you might want this, but as you're with the person, you're like, oh, well, I actually just wanted you to tell me that you reassure me and let me know that we're good, you know? But do you ever speak to the person and tell them that that's what you're missing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to, because it develops irritation. It develops frustration. And, like, you got to let that out. Resentment. Yeah, you got to let that out.
But do you remind them more than once? Because it's a habit.
No. But, like, you know, when you remind somebody more than once, you start to think that that's not what's on their mind.
That's the selfish part.
I don't think so,
That's the
yeah.
selfish part
This is
because
how they
we don't
think.
have grace. You got to have grace for the other person.
No. You have to understand, like, when you saying remind somebody, we're not saying remind somebody every day. We're talking about over a span of time.
Yeah.
When you look up and you like, I understand what's going on, but you know at the same time, it's like, how you feel like you supposed to get this and other people don't, you know, but I see you give it to other people, so I know you know
How to do it.
how to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just when it comes to me, you don't do it.
I think it's a double-edged sword, and Jeremy, I think you can probably speak to it best because the double-edged sword of it all is the relationships are different, right? So you might see him give it to a friend, like words of affirmation. Like I said, I think all around men, we love words of affirmation, right? That's the one thing we really can't give ourselves. We'll hype ourselves up, but it ain't nothing
we'll
like
be in the
somebody.
bathroom, we're like, boy, you
Right, but it ain't nothing like you walking out the bathroom and your girl being like, okay, you be like, yeah.
I mean,
You know
but
what I mean?
you need that.
Like he wore the turtleneck because his lady was like, all right,
Turtleneck is crazy.
But how do you navigate
You gotta see it.
love languages with your wife, right? Like this is a forever thing, and you have to be cognizant of your love languages, her love languages, how they're speaking to each other.
Nah, man,
What's
all
that
right, look,
like?
I'll keep it a buck. Like when we first got together, it was friction, and the friction was I didn't know. what that language was. She literally came and like found it online. Like it's a quiz you can take.
Sure is.
And you fill out, you answer the questions and it'll give you your results. But her whole point was, look, I want to make sure that we are effectively communicating with each other. It's different. You can communicate, but let's be effective. You know what I'm saying? And then the same thing goes with just how you connect with each other. So we took the quiz, and once we found out, like, I am words of affirmation as well as physical touch. I mean, I was all 5, but those 2 went up a little bit higher. She at the time was acts of service. You know what I'm saying? And also words of affirmation. And so I made sure that like the things that I was trying to do, like I brought this up earlier with you, I was trying to put words of affirmation on her, like, that's what I like. So I just know that you like that. You know what I'm saying? And she like, yeah, I do. But, can you, if I need something, can I depend on you to go do
show
it?
up?
Yeah, can you
show
go
up?
do this? Can you go, And I was like, oh, okay. So now I started like just filling up the tank before she even asked or whatever. And she's just like, yo, that means everything to me.
I want to ask you this, because this is another thing, a topic that we see amongst men, married or single, the obligation consideration conversation where now you know that her love language is acts of service. And as a husband, you want to do the right thing. But when you do that act of service, are you doing it from like a begrudging, obligated standpoint? Like, if I don't, or have you found—
That's a legit question.
Have you found this like middle ground where you're like, yo, I just love this woman, I want to make sure.
Yeah.
If you did, how do you do that every day?
Well, I feel like it's the act of discovery, right? In your relationship, you get to a point where you realize, like, I love you. I'll do whatever is necessary to make sure that you feel loved, you feel heard, you feel appreciated, because I know I can trust that you're gonna do the same for me.
Right.
But you have to get to a point where you are like, I feel a certain way about these things. We having friction. Let's talk this out. Like, let's feel comfortable enough with each other that we can keep it 100 with each other, right? Because sometimes, like, what you saying is like, you might talk to a woman and express how you feel, and it may be kind of off-putting to her. It just shows that maybe it's like it's a little deeper digging that you got to do to find that connection or whatever. But luckily for me and wifey, we was able to just be honest, be transparent, and just keep it all on the surface. And it is a blessing. And I think in that moment we realize it's a blessing. So he's like, yo, y'all
Y'all kids gonna look good. Because when people be beefing, their kids be ugly.
Nah, but it's love.
I'm tired.
You tired?
I don't even want to do it no more. I don't even want to do it no more.
Sometimes you be like, ooh, your parents hated each other.
You like, y'all all right? Your folks all right?
No, but then you see 2 ugly motherfuckers have some baby and they love each other.
Because they love each other. That's why the babies look good. Yeah,
Cause that's how I got my babies.
All right, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Speaking of which,
Hey, real quick, I want to go back to something he said earlier in terms of, you're trying to these
I
love.
was the ugly one.
No.
You're trying to get someone to realize these words of the love languages, and you're like, yo, I'm telling you what to do, and you still can't do it. And you're like, how many times do you try over and over again? Hopefully I can answer this from the inverse, being on the other side of the male. Like, I've been single a long time, so I've learned how to dodge commitment. So I know that if there's certain things that I keep giving you, then that's gonna bring us closer to commitment. Right. So even though I know that you want it, I make sure I still dodged it. So it's not so much about not knowing it, I do know it, but I don't want it to link. Yeah.
But that's the scary part, because you don't know when somebody is either dodging it or they don't understand it. Because that's 2 total different things.
I said I'm tired. Listen, I just want it straight up, cuz. Can't give it to me straight up, man. I don't want it.
But there's been times when somebody has actually told me, like, you're not listening to what I'm saying. And I'm like, I'm listening to it. I'm saying back exactly what you're saying. But it's not making sense how he's putting it out. Right. I'm taking it a total different way. So if you don't take the time to explain it to me, when I don't understand you and I'm telling you I don't really get it, you're not listening to me either.
Yeah, that's conflict resolution right there, because you identified there's a problem. Like, I appreciate that you expressing something that's going on, and then he expresses back, you're not listening to me. Okay, we gotta identify right then and there what the disconnect is. Because if not, you can get exhausted from that and just be like, you know what, don't even worry about it, I'm out. And then
Scrappy say you be where I'm at right now.
Both white men can't jump. You listening to me, but you're not hearing me.
You're not hearing me. Well, listen, I'm so glad, listen to black women exist and listen to black men exist, because we can have these conversations here.
For sure.
And then everybody can see them, and hopefully that, influences them to have these same conversations at home with both their friends, but also their significant others, you know what I mean?